You love God, you really do. You show up to church, you open your Bible, you pray. Maybe not as consistently as you want to, but you try. And yet, somewhere along the way, God started feeling distant, quiet, like you're talking into a room and no one is answering. And the terrifying part is you don't know what you did wrong. What if it's not something you did wrong? What if it's something you're doing right now without realizing it that's making it harder to hear Him? Today, I want to talk about the specific things that silenced God's voice in my life and that I see silencing it in the lives of women in hard marriages every single day. Not to make you feel guilty, but because once you see them, you can change them. And when you change them, God's voice gets louder. Not because He was ever gone, but because the static finally clears. The first one is this, and I want you to really sit with it. A lot of us come to God the same way we come to everything else in our lives, performing, putting on our best version, cleaning ourselves up before we walk in the door. You know what I mean. You sit down to pray and you start with, Father, I just want to thank you, because we know how you're supposed to start. Even when what you actually feel is angry, confused, desperate, maybe even abandoned. But you don't say that because you don't want to be disrespectful or faithless or the kind of woman who yells at God. So you perform your prayer and then you wonder why it feels empty. Here's what I've come to understand. God doesn't need your performance. He's not impressed by the right language or the correct format. He already knows what's going on with you. What He wants is you, the real you, the one who is angry and scared and doesn't know what to do. The Psalms are full of David doing exactly that, showing up raw, unfiltered, saying, God, where are you? Why have you abandoned me? I don't understand what's happening. And God called him a man after His own heart. Not because David was perfect, but because David came as he actually was. If you've been performing your way through prayer, that's the first thing silencing His voice. Try showing up the way you actually feel, even if it's messy, especially if it's messy. The second one is closely related, and I think this one is really common for women in hard marriages. You've been coming to God almost entirely with one thing on your mind: your marriage, what to do, whether to stay, whether to leave, what He thinks, what He's saying. And every prayer session becomes a search for the answer. I get it. You need answers. The situation is urgent and real, and it affects every part of your life. But here's what happens when you only come to God looking for an answer. You stop actually being with Him. You turn a relationship into a transaction. And God, He's not a vending machine. You don't put in your prayer and get your answers out. He's a person. He wants to be known by you, not just consulted by you. What would it look like to come to God without an agenda for your marriage? Just to be with Him. Not asking for anything, just present. I know that sounds uncomfortable when your situation feels urgent, but the women I've seen find the most clarity about their marriages weren't the ones who kept asking louder. They were the ones who stopped asking long enough to just be still in His presence. And in that stillness, the answers came. Not always quickly, not always the way they expected, but they came. Third one. And this one is going to hit close to home. God's voice is quiet. It's a still, small voice. We know that from 1 Kings 19. And a still, small voice cannot compete with everything else competing for your attention. Think about what your mental space actually looks like on a given day. You're replaying last night's argument. You're calculating whether he'll be in a good mood when he gets home. You're managing the kids, managing the household, managing his image to the people around you. You're scrolling your phone because your brain needs a break from itself. God's voice doesn't fit for airtime. He waits for the quiet. And in a life that looks like yours right now, quiet is hard to come by. This isn't a character flaw. It's not a faith problem. It's just what happens when survival mode takes over your whole life. The question is, are you creating any space at all for quiet? Even a few minutes, even in your car before you go inside. Because that's where he's waiting, not in the noise, in the margins you carve out for him. If God feels distant right now, it might not be that he's moved. It might just be that the noise in your life has gotten louder than his voice. And the fix for that isn't more prayer, it's less noise. Fourth one, and this one is sneaky. Say God does speak. Say he gives you a nudge, a peace, a sense of what to do next. And then, almost immediately, the doubt comes in. Was that really God? Or was that just what I want? Am I hearing him clearly, or am I just telling myself what I want to hear? What if I'm wrong? And so you dismiss it. You don't act on it. You go back to asking, waiting, searching. And then you wonder why God feels silent when the truth is he already spoke and you talked yourself out of it. I'm not saying everything you feel is from God. Discernment is real and important. But there's a specific kind of doubt that shows up in women who've been gaslit in their marriages, and it's worth naming. When someone has spent years telling you that your perception is wrong, your feelings are wrong, your interpretation of events is wrong, it starts to affect how you receive from God too. You start to doubt your own ability to hear accurately, and that doubt, planted by a person, starts silencing the voice of God. If this resonates with you, I want you to hear this. The fact that you're questioning whether you heard from God correctly doesn't mean you didn't hear him. Write it down. Pray over it. Give it time. But don't dismiss it just because someone taught you to doubt yourself. So, what do you actually do with all of this? 4 things, simple ones. First, come as you actually are. Next time you sit down to pray, skip the performance. Just say what's true. Even if it's, God, I'm angry and I don't understand what I need you to show up because I don't know what I'm doing. Second, try coming without an agenda sometimes. Not every prayer session has to be about your marriage. Sometimes just sit with him. Ask him to show you who he is, not just what he wants you to do. Third, create a margin for quiet. Even 10 minutes a day where the phone is down and the noise is off. It doesn't have to be formal, it just has to be still. Fourth, write down what you hear and don't dismiss it. God speaks in whispers. The journal becomes your record of those whispers, proof that he was speaking even when you wondered if he was. None of this is complicated. All of it requires intention. And every single one of these things, done consistently, will do more to help you hear God clearly than praying harder for another year ever could. Father, I pray for the woman who has been wondering why you feel so far away. God, show her where the static is coming from. Show her where she's been performing instead of coming as she is, chasing answers instead of seeking your presence, letting the noise crowd you out. And God, especially for the woman whose ability to trust her own perception has been damaged by someone who should have protected it, I pray you would restore her confidence in hearing you. Let her hear your voice clearly. Let her trust what she hears, and let that voice be the loudest thing in her life. In Jesus' name, amen. This video named something you've been living with. I want you to take the next step. I have a free 5-day devotional called When Life as a Wife Feels Too Heavy. It's designed specifically for Christian wives who need to get quiet enough to hear what God is actually saying about their situation. 5 days, one topic at a time, completely free. The link is in the description. Go get it. And subscribe. I post every week and I want you to have every single one. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.